Great, all right, your next comedian, they perform all over the city. They were a semi-finalist in the Yas Queer Comedy Fest, and they are just so damn funny. Please welcome to the stage, Rowan and Zeoli!
Hello everyone, I am Rowan Zeoli, and welcome to your Republican uncle's least favorite segment, some blue-haired liberal bullshit. I don't have blue hair, nor am I a liberal, because your Republican uncle is wrong about everything. This month we're talking about Don't Say Gay Bills. Before we move on, I'd like to say no, these are not stock photos I ripped from the front page of Google, and the fact that you'd even ask is transphobic. In recent years, there's been a harsh push for anti-LGBTQIA legislation, which I think has to be a backlash from the gay zoo animal craze of 2014. That gay penguin is the reason Roe v. Wade is going to get overturned. But God, they're just so fucking cute. I'm reporting on this because my expertise comes from being the person who hacked Tucker Carlson's Twitter and added they/theirs to his bio. I like to think that after getting hacked, they, bad ally, when they got their profile hacked, they saw the pronouns and just thought it felt good, so they kept it. Since the federal legislation of gay marriage in 2015, the number of self-identifying queer people has skyrocketed. The most recent Pew Research study showed that 20% of Americans under 30 identify as queer, and 5%, or 1 in 20 people under 30, identify as trans or non-binary. And that number jumps to a staggering 100% when you get to Bushwick. This is compared to only 1.6 of 30 to 49-year-olds who identify as trans, and an abysmal 0.3% of people 50 years or older. And this shift indicates that when people's identities are legally protected, they're more willing to tell some weirdo with a clipboard what's in their pants. Over a dozen other GOP-governed states are crafting anti-queer laws, and it makes sense that they're popping up in the most repressed regions in the country, like Utah, South Dakota, and Mike Pence's Midnight Fantasies. As the Lord said, it's not gay if it's a three-way. The state that may surprise you is Louisiana, because, have they ever heard of Mardi Gras? That's some gay shit. People in costumes, straight women getting alcohol poisoning, a social currency based on nipples and beads, basically a citywide drag show. Mardi Gras without gay people is just the Macy's Day Parade with Cajun seasoning. But obviously, these Don't Say Gay Bills aren't the first of laws meant to erase the queer community through omission. Before this, there was Don't Ask, Don't Tell. These names are already so boringly straight, they might as well just say it with their chest and call it the Quit It With That Gay Shit bill. But these laws aren't getting passed on explicitly homophobic and transphobic rhetoric. This is happening under the guise of protecting children. Florida's HB 1557 is called the Parental Rights in Education Bill, prohibiting classroom instruction on sexual orientation or gender identity in a way that is not age appropriate. The books include, the information included is books both in the curriculum and in the high school library, and the middle school library and the elementary school library. There have been over 1,600 books this year that have been challenged, including the book about the gay penguins, I'm just saying. While these seemingly benign book bans and book burnings mirror something much darker in our past. The first book burning in Germany was at the Institute of Sexology, which sounds like a crossover between OnlyFans and Masterclass. The library contained the life's work of Magnus Hirschfeld, who's seen here serving cunt. The Nazis burned his research on the fluidity of gender and sexuality to preserve strong Aryan ideas of masculinity, which is still on the forefront of conservative America's mind. Proven by your libertarian uncle who's 4 months on T because Joe Rogan told him to do it. But Republicans are using all of this by protecting children from grooming, because we all know how much straight men are afraid of grooming. But if anything, heterosexuals are the ones grooming kids, as evidenced by all the infant-size ladies man onesies, complete with a Fast and Fear little lady killer soil diaper. Even though they aren't old enough to walk or talk or not shit in their pants, they still have a firm grasp on the metaphysical concept of self. If straights weren't obsessed with sexualizing children, the Ohio transgender sports ban wouldn't include genital inspections. The Tennessee GOP wouldn't be trying to pass a bill eliminating age requirements for heterosexual marriage. And Jeffrey Epstein would have actually killed himself. In fact, methinks the GOP doth protest too much, because now there are way too many of these for me to list, but I'm going to mention some of the LGOPTQ+ highlights. Disclaimer for this bit, though. We are not mocking the queerness or emasculization of these people, but their soul-selling hypocrisy. Like, calling Lindsey Graham Lady Graham isn't funny. It's homophobic. However, calling him Daddy's little corporate cum dumpster is both accurate and how I paid off my spoken. This is former Idaho Senator Larry Craig, who blames getting caught in an airport bathroom on his wide stance. We all remember where we were when rising GOP star and Hitler stan Madison Cawthorn's scandal dropped. According to Republicans, being gay was so bad it overruled the fact that he was fucking his cousin. It's as funny as it is depressing. It's camp. It's a sad camp. It's conversion camp. Or what about Bob Allen, a married Florida state representative who voted against gay rights legislation 90% of the time? He was arrested for offering a male undercover cop $20 to receive oral sex in a restroom. I have some questions. Did he reveal he was a cop before or after Bob saw the handcuffs? Did him being a cop make it better? And be clear, this is not a pro-cop bit, because when I said fuck 12, this is not what I meant. As funny as it is to see these objectively bad men suffer, these laws and internal biases have real effects. The AMA has deemed gender-affirming care medically necessary due to the high rates of suicide in unaffirmed queer and trans youth. States are banning medical treatment and criminalizing doctors who offer hormone therapy. And those who still do have to do it go to extreme ends to not get caught. In Texas, a family had clandestine meetings with their son's doctor in order to continue his treatment. Getting gender-affirming hormones shouldn't require a burner phone and a back alley meetup. Like, this shit's fire, the testosterone's a body high, but the estrogen's more of a sativa. And maybe you agree. Maybe medical intervention is too much, but the GOP isn't stopping at just medical transitioning. Another Texas family had to flee to Oklahoma to seek emergency psychological treatment for their child, out of fear that seeking help would show support for their child's transition. And clearly this has nothing to do with protecting children, and everything to do with controlling them. Now what can you do? You can educate yourself. Find communities, read books, watch some documentaries. Listen to a fucking podcast. I educate people every day. Personally, I'm really happy to teach people who are eager to learn. But there's a reason this right now is a one-way conversation. There's nothing more exhausting than an obvious question from a well-meaning ally, which is how I end up with Grindr messages that say, so you are female that into gays? Don't want to be asked, just try and understand. Educate yourself so we don't have to. Listen to the trans people in your life, because the odds are, they're there. They just might not feel safe enough to tell you. Thank you so much. I'm Rowan.